Speaking freedom. Speaking freedom. Giving you the answers to be free. Be free. Be free. 'Cause we're speaking freedom.
A bad sign. And the problem with being a father is you can
bullshit.
never hit it 100.
I call bullshit.
If I give you time,
bullshit.
We don't have money.
I call bullshit.
If I get the money,
bullshit.
You don't have me.
I call bullshit.
Be there and
bullshit.
at the same time.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
If a man is at home all the time and he's the breadwinner, that's a bad sign.
Maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, if a man was at home all the time and he was a breadwinner, then that was a bad sign. But this is 2021. We are less than 6 months away from it being 2022. Nigga. Bishop. Nigga. Stop motherfucking bullshitting these people. It is ways that a man can have time for his family and earn a substantial living, more than substantial living, and still be able to be at home and spend time with their parents. Women do it all the goddamn time. That shit just motherfucking pissed me off because first off, we are not in a state or time period where a man has to do manual labor all the time or be gone to earn a fucking living. That is not the case. And even when you have to be gone to earn a living, that doesn't mean that you make that earning a living more important to your family and then abandon your family because you're trying to get a check. That money that you chasing will never fulfill your needs to be loved, it can buy you love. Money can buy love because it is bitches that will love you because you got motherfucking money. And as long as you got money, they gonna be in your motherfucking corner. But the minute that you hit a hard time, the minute some fuck shit happen, them bitches ain't gonna be there for you. But for you to act like that because you're a man, you don't have time for your family, that is a piss poor excuse, sir, that you are giving men to make excuses to not be a good, present, active father. Now, I don't know what you've been doing all your life other than ministry, but I am 100% positive that when you've arranged your time and made your family a priority, you had time to spend with your motherfucking family. Don't act like you can't make your family a priority amongst working. Nigga, at work, even a full-time job is nothing but 40 hours. Now, it's a lot of entrepreneurs out here. So if you are an entrepreneur and you making your own money, you doing your own business, and you set your own goddamn schedule, that means that you can pencil in motherfuckers when you want to pencil them motherfuckers in. You ain't got to wait for a motherfucker's permission to get goddamn to see your family. And then in these instances that people are like, okay, so we got actors, actresses, we got those two groups of people are the same entity, but you have the male and the female side of acting. And in situations where people are actors, they may sign a contract to where they have to be gone for a certain amount of time. But let me tell you something. I look at Ludacris' timeline, and I don't give a fuck how many movies he got out. Goddamn, he make time for his motherfucking wife and his motherfucking children. So all that bullshit, like you can't make time unless you single when you start or sign a contract with a franchise or a movie, and then you find love in the midst of being up under contract, and your contract obligates you to do certain things or move certain ways, or you know what I'm saying? Now that is something that may be halfway excusable, but even then, nigga, if you really say that is your family and you love your kids and all of that, then you will make time even when you don't have time to spend with your family and your kids. Now, I'm not saying that a man should be sitting at home all day long and not doing nothing, but you could be sitting at home and be very profitable. Don't act like you can't be at home or with your family. Like, this is why I wanted to do what it is that I do now, because there's a lot of traditional narrative that is hogwash, is bullshit. I call bullshit. And the reason why I call bullshit is because you can start a business and involve your entire family and have time for your family and that business simultaneously, so that nobody has to go without. You shouldn't have to go without your love from your loved ones, your family, your children, because I don't know if you realize this, but children really change your life if you spend time with them, if you really be around them, if you really learn their personalities and find interest in the things that make them function, what they like, what they don't like. You will grow so much just from talking to them, just from hearing them talk and seeing yourself within who they are. So if you're not making time for your family, don't act like it's because you trying to make money, because you can make money and make time, nigga. Like if you chasing money that much to where you can't make time for your family, then you don't need a fucking family. I don't respect men or women that put their children off for a bag. I don't care. I be trying, and it always gonna feel like a little sneak diss to people that I know that will literally abandon their children for a check. You know what I'm saying? Like they will go weeks, months, you know what I'm saying, without seeing their children, and they do it in the guise of, well, I got to get this check. I'm out here trying to feed them or clothe them. Bitch, that shit don't make a motherfucking difference when you wake up and realize that you done missed a whole fucking life, nigga, and they don't feel close to you. Look, some people raise their kids to value money, but when a person gets old enough to realize that your time is more valuable than that money, then they'll begin to almost despise you. They will almost even use you now, because they know that you ain't nothing but a bag to them. They know that that's how you feel. That's how you make yourself feel good, by acting like you doing something for them, when it's really just self-gratification for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and listen, I've dealt with this on so many levels. Look, and it is hard for a child because you are teaching your children that they're not a priority. You want to know why bitches be with niggas that treat them like shit? Because they parents and already treated them like shit and let them know that they are not a priority. So when somebody else makes them less than a priority, then it becomes acceptable. So what you're saying right now, Bishop Jakes, is bullshit. Because the minute that you make a man feel like he don't need to make his family a priority, and by giving them excuses, like if he's making time with his family, then he must not be doing enough to make money. No, you need to find you a job in which you can give into your family in every way that they need and make money. If you got to sacrifice your family for money, man, you lost. You lost. That ain't God. God is not going to reward you because you damn abandoning your family for motherfucking money. You will never get that time back. You will never be able to get those years that you missed back. And then you're going to be wondering what happened and where's the disconnect and all of that. Like spending money going, like, listen, it's going to always seem like shade because bitches be thinking like, okay, well, I could just leave you with grandma. And I'm gonna come back and spend money. And that's doing enough. Bitch, that is not motherfucking doing enough. I got a bitch right now, young, fine bitch, that I could love. But if this bitch can't get her goddamn kid back, then she gotta go. Look, you can't be with me, be around me, and your kid can't even live with you. Don't even live with you. Don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, it don't seem like it hurts children in the midst of, you know what I'm saying? And you might not notice the effects, but I hate to say it like this, but maybe the lack of your parenting is what causes kids to have lifestyle choices that we might not agree with. We might not understand. We don't know where we went wrong in following God's plan. You went wrong when you was abandoning your motherfucking children. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say that that's how Sarah got pregnant, because I don't know what the story was. I don't know how she got caught up when she was 13 and she was pregnant. But if it has to do with your ass being gone trying to make money, trying to chase a motherfucking check, then that goddamn kind of falls on you if this is your mindset. And again, I can't blame you for her choices, but as a father figure, if you are around and they're not seeking attention from outside, you know what I'm saying, givers, like, listen, the truth of the matter is, one of the things that kept me from having sex before I was ready to have sex, one of the things that made me more cautious is because, one, I've always known my dad, but when it wasn't my dad around, when he wasn't present, when he wasn't coming around, I had older boy cousins that was stepping in like, you ain't doing that. Take that shit off. Like, we used to have to hide from my cousin. And at the time, we used to be like, he's such a, you know what I'm saying? Like, but now I understand and I value that it was like that because I get it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is a time and place in which you will be able to be and do whatever you desire to do. But when you growing up, you need some structure. You need somebody that's gonna say, not like that. Don't do that. You need somebody to watch over you. You need a man in your life, whether it's a cousin, whether it's an uncle, whether it's a brother, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, just somebody that you know, that you value and respect, and that respect you, that ain't never tried to fuck you. This is the thing. When y'all say fathers need to be out the house and working, you are opening up to them, their children, and sometimes their wives, to exposure to somebody that's trying to fill in that position, somebody that's giving them that attention, somebody that's making a way out of no way, that's making a family a priority. We're not gonna mention that Obama was the whole fucking president and still made motherfucking time for his children. We're not gonna mention that there's plenty other motherfuckers that got boo-cool motherfucking money and still make time for their motherfucking children. We're not gonna mention that. But when you go missing in action, when you out chasing money, there is a lack of spiritual covering. Even if the mother is spiritual, even if the mother is strong, there is still the inadequacy of that covering being the only covering that the children and the family have. There's you're taking care of the financial, but there are mental struggles that come with you being gone, abandonment issues, them not feeling like they are important enough to get your time. There are other things that go along with that you don't realize can affect the person's mind and their thinking and how they feel like they got to survive because you are not around in their life trying to chase a motherfucking bag, and you letting that be the excuse as to why you're not around. This is why COVID fucked up marriages. Marriages got fucked up because people so used to being gone, chasing a bag, avoiding their family, that when it was time to be a family and be around each other, you don't even like the person that you're around because you don't be around them so much that your marriage only really lasting because y'all don't deal with each other for real. Your marriage is only really lasted because y'all always chasing a bag separately. So y'all don't have to face the reality that y'all don't really like each other for real. But when you're gone all the time, you're making room. This is why women end up, this is why, not just women, because if a woman prioritizes her man last, then this is why men sometimes go and find other women to speak to on the emotional side, on the just needing somebody to talk to. And I'm not talking about like friends that they've had for years and years and years. I'm talking about like find new bitches that, you know what I'm saying, meet a need that you're no longer meeting or that you're not making time for. So when you get people like, when you think about soldiers in the military, when they are gone overseas on deployments and or like, okay, so it's different type of deployments. You have war deployments and like field deployments, but deployments or when you are away from your family, like you might get deployed somewhere in the United States, but most times you get deployed to other countries. Now, most deployments, like the deployment part is like you're on a mission, versus when you get stationed like overseas. People get stationed in Japan and Korea. People get stationed in all over the world, Hawaii, you know what I'm saying, just everywhere, anywhere you can imagine, you could probably get a duty station. But when you get deployed, it means your unit from one place is getting sent somewhere, and then you'll go back. But also, when you're in the Navy, you get deployed, or your unit get deployed on ships. So people, they families are left behind, where they go on ships to make, you know what I'm saying, whatever the 6-month tour is or the year tour is. And oftentimes when people get deployed, now, when people get sent for duty stations, like in Korea, sometimes you could take your family. There are opportunities where your family can go along with you. However, most times that's not the case. But when people go on those long duty stations and their spouses left behind, when spouses cheat on military soldiers, most of the time it's because they're left uncovered while that soldier is going to chase that bag, while that soldier is going to perform his duty. Now, I'm not saying that this is a good excuse to cheat. I'm not saying that it's a good excuse to find somebody else to give you what you need emotionally. Really, I would leave. Like, I'm not gonna be with somebody that can't spend time with me. My love language is not gifts. My love language is money, not money. So if you throwing money at me, I am going to think that you really don't love me. I am going to think that you are doing that in order to get over on me, more than I am going to think that you are giving me money because you just love me so much. Because your money means nothing if I don't have your time, if I don't have your attention, if I don't have, you know what I'm saying, like that deep interest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about how much money I would rather listen. My mother worked at General Motors all her life, all my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna say all her life, all my life she's worked there. My dad worked at General Motors. These two people never fucking had time for little old me. And when they did have time, they would be out doing whatever they need to do because they've been working so much. So I understand when parents have jobs that is very demanding, but I also understand that what happens to the child that is left alone, what happens to the child that, you know, feels abandoned, that does not have the guidance, the supervision, the time spent. So when people try to spend money on me, it means nothing because my mother and my father threw money at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially my mom. So that shit makes me feel like you just using that as an excuse to buy time in my life that you don't really value. Because if you value time, then you would spend it with me. My love language is time and affection. I need you to be around. I need you to touch me, kiss me, cuddle me, you know what I'm saying, love me, and all those type of things. Even as a parent, you are teaching your child, however you know what I'm saying, what's most important. However you deal with them, that's how you teach them what's most important. So if you say that my job is more important than you, then you are teaching them that when you get a man or when you in a relationship, make your job more important than them. Now, you're teaching them that, but your actions and the way that you make them feel by not being present can also teach them, you know what? I hear what he is saying. I see what he is doing, but the way it makes me feel, it has my life in ruin. So I don't want to be with somebody that is like that. I don't want to be that to somebody. When you grow up, and this is a part of spiritual human behavior, you either going to become exactly like what you've seen in your parents, or you're going to become exactly opposite. Now, there is a medium where you can you see what they was, and you see what they wasn't, and you found the middle ground to what you would like to be. But sometimes that comes with life experience and a better understanding and growth and maturity. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you either, normally, most people don't find the balance of a healthy balance of what was missing and what was present, or what wasn't present and what they wanted to be present. However, when you get to see, you know what I'm saying, the results, that's going to determine what you decide to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you either going to be exactly like them or strikingly different. And if you're teaching your children that money is more of a priority because I got to provide for you to show you I love you, that's not true. I've always said I would rather a parent that was on drugs and broke, that was there and tried to make an effort to be present in my life, than to have a financially substantial parent that can throw money at me all the time but never have time for me, never love me, never, you know what I'm saying, hold me, hug me, support me, love me in the ways that I need to be loved, so that I would know what real love is when I got grown enough to give love and seek love and desire to be loved, you know. And that's why a lot of young girls end up going to sex, because one, nobody's talking to them about sex, but then two, they are seeking the love, the affection, the attention, the presence that you're lacking to give them. And although you're not going to get sexually involved with them, when they get that love, affection, like when a young girl is out, if she ain't never been told that she's pretty before, and niggas on the street start telling her she pretty, then guess what? That shit gonna go to her head. And one of them niggas might have the opportunity to fuck just because you ain't told her she was pretty enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that. And then if you not around to show her, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so when you talk about providing, are you just talking about if you sitting in the house, you can't put a roof over their head? If you sitting in the house, you can't, you know what I'm saying, do the basics? Like, I don't know. I guess as a veteran, that even seems more illogical, especially because a lot of people are veterans. If you're a veteran and you put in your work, you should be having some benefits to where it gives you the opportunity to find out what you really love instead of working just for a check. But when you go and you chasing that bag, when you have to be out all the time, you're giving room for somebody else to feed your child's mind. So if you're not telling them they're pretty enough, they go out and they be around some strange men. It's like, ooh, baby, come here, you pretty. They trying to rub and touch up on them. That is because when you were around, or your lack of being around, you didn't tell them they was pretty. You didn't tell them they should be valued. You didn't show them how they should be treated. So now when a guy steps in and fills those shoes and begins to teach her shit that you were supposed to and didn't, because you chose to chase that bag, you chose to get that money, you chose to make excuses for not making your children and your family a priority. Now somebody else is coming in like, hey, baby, you know what I'm saying? Well, let me tell you this and let me teach you that. And they may not say it with those words, but when they give them affection, when they show them love, that's what they're teaching them. So if you never hugged your daughter like that, if you never kissed your daughter on the cheek or showed her affection, then the minute that somebody comes and touches her on her ass, instead of her being like, oh my God, don't do that, she's going to be like, oh, he really liked me. This is the first type of affection that I'm getting from a guy. If a guy come through and he, you know what I'm saying, whispering in her ear and he telling her sweet nothings, goddamn, guess what? She's more vulnerable because you ain't never gave her the game. You ain't never taught her nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you so busy chasing that bag that's more important than making time for your children and family and being around. Now listen, I have to dummy proof this down right now. I am not saying that a man should not be a provider. I am not saying that a man should not strive to seek to provide. But what I'm saying is, you, in providing, you have to make your family a priority at the exact same fucking time. Because the moment that you decide that, you know what, providing is more important than being present, Providing is more important than being able to teach. Providing is more important than being able to be an example of what, can be reached. Then listen, you missed the mark, and I call bullshit on you, sir, because there are some things that, your children may not say nothing about, but if you were not present and you was not present for ministry, there are some things that you missed out on that will probably be hurtful if you really understood the way that made them feel. That's if you missed out on some things, because there are plenty of people that make money, go to their job, do everything at their job, and then they go home and they spend time with their family, and they are able to manage and juggle both perfectly, where they make time to take their kid to practices, they make time to, and together, especially when it's two parents together in a household where they get along and they're able to manage their time. Oh my gosh, like, it's a whole vibe. So if you're making excuses for making your children and your family not a priority, I call bullshit and shame on you. Because listen, your children, even if you are working, they still need you to come home from work. They still need you to spend some time with them. I don't give a fuck how much shit I got going on. At some point, on more days than not, I am going to set some time aside to talk to my children. I don't give a fuck what the fuck we talk about. We could be talking about something important, intense, or we could just be shooting the breeze, just laughing and joking, just, letting them know that I'm here and being outspoken and allowing them to, with respect, be outspoken as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is such an important thing for you to be in your lives, in the lives of your children and family. Like, don't allow people like this message that I just played at the beginning to get you thinking that it's okay to, as long as you out making money, as long as you out working, to leave your family behind. It is never okay to leave your family without a covering. It is never okay to make excuses. I don't give a fuck what the fuck type work you do. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. It is never okay. Never in a million years will it be okay to make your family a non-priority, or to act like it's cool for you to not be around as long as you making money. This is the reason why a lot of families were broken. This is the reason why a lot of ladies and women be promiscuous, why people end up on drugs, why men and women have abandonment issues today, because y'all think because you working that's not as bad as running out on your family and leaving your family on drugs, or running out, because there are people that's on drugs that still be trying to be present. Like, I've known several drug addicts in my family that were great parents, that was there for their children, that despite the fact that they was on drugs, they did everything they could to show their children love. Now, some people taught their children a lifestyle that they didn't, need to learn, but they have a closeness that parents that think that making money is more important than being there for their children, they don't have with their children. And I've always valued that, like, always got that respect for people that make their children a priority. Like, I don't give a fuck. I thank God to be a veteran and be able to be here with my children and not have to drop them off at 8 and then pick them up at 5 and be so tired that all I got enough time to do is cook and then put them in the bed for the night. Like, a lot of people miss their whole children growing up because they always at work. You know what I'm saying? They be like, it'd be so crazy because people be like, oh my God, it feel like I just missed everything. What happened to the time it just flew past? Like, no. I'm in my children's life every single day. There is not a moment that I can think of that I truly missed and was not able to be a part of with my children. And the moments that were had is very limited. You know what I'm saying? Like, because my children are a priority. I never pawn my children off on anybody ever. If I would have had to go, if I would have had my baby when I was 17, and would not have had the miscarriage, I would not have left my child to go to the Army. I would have not have left my child with nobody to go to the Army. I've always felt like me and my children were going to be inseparable because I know firsthand how it feels to, you know what I'm saying, not feel like you matter to your parents. And, you know, I try to give them some slack, you know what I'm saying, both my mom and my dad. Even though my dad bounced back, he really put in effort to be a parent after I was old enough for him to come to me as a man, you know, like come to me as his child, but as a father, and say, look, this is what was going on. But listen, don't wait till the last minute to try to be a good parent. Like, your children need you. Like, your children need that presence. They need that guidance. So I made it a priority to never leave my children or pawn my children off on nobody. I don't give a fuck. Like, if in order to be in entertainment, I gotta pawn my children off on people, I will not be in entertainment, motherfuckers. Fuck y'all, goddamn. My children make a motherfucking difference to me. Just like I got into it with the casting director once because she acted like Naya couldn't be on set. Baby, this is a family. Wherever I go, she goes. Wherever her brother goes, she goes. And if we not there, if she not there, then we not there. So we could leave at any motherfucking time, because you not about to act like my daughter can't be around because she's a child. No. Matter of fact, my son don't need to be here either if she can't be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't bothering nobody. She ain't doing nothing. But, you know, that's how I feel. You're not about to make my child feel no type of way. You're not about to treat him no type of way. You're not about to, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not about to abandon my child for no motherfucking check. Fuck your check. My child is more important than the motherfucking check. And I feel bad for you if you don't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit hit home, like, just like I did that video about Yandy yesterday. The reason why that shit hit home for her is because she know that she was pawning them damn cheering off on that motherfucking little girl. But don't nobody want to say that. And that's going to be mum's the word like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be, well, that's her family, that's her business. Nah, it ain't, you know, because I've been talking about this for years, way before Yandy had children, way before, you know what I'm saying? If your children are not a priority in your life, then that's a problem. That is a huge red flag to me. I don't want to be around nobody that goddamn can't be there for their motherfucking children. How you going to be there for me if you can't be there for the product of your body? Like, you made them. You can't be there for them. You can't love them. You can't, you know what I'm saying, make time for them. You can't make them a priority because you chasing a bag. You a piss poor ass dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't use that as an excuse. There is something that you can do where you can still make time for your family. At night, before you go to bed, you should still be able to spend a couple minutes with your children at minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like people that don't make their children a priority. I've always been against that shit. Because my mother and my father didn't make me a priority until it was too late. I just had enough people in my life that I was determined to be great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to be a statistic. Like, when I seen my cousin and shit have children, that was okay, well, I know to avoid that, and I know to avoid that, and I know to avoid that, because I don't want to deal with that. So I learned by watching shit that I did not want to live. Like, I learned by other people's results. I didn't want the results that they had, so I decided that I wasn't going to live like that. And that's how I became the parent that I am today. You know, like, I want to be close to my children. I want my children to know that I love them, to never have a doubt, to never feel abandonment, to never feel like, you know, they have to be without the love and caring that they need. So, you know, for me and my household, when I talk about purpose, a part of purpose is being a parent. Like, the moment that I became a parent, that became like priority number one of my purpose. Like, if I am not a good parent, then I can't be a good minister. If I am not a good parent, I can't be a good friend. If I am not a good parent, how can I be a good anything else? If the people that came out of my body, that are a part of my flesh, are not well taken care of, spiritually, mentally, affectionate wise, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are things that people need. Like, that's why when you have a baby, you get that skin to skin time. You need that shit. So if you can't make your children a priority and your family a priority over money, then that speaks a lot about your character, and that's unfortunate. I gotta go. Bye. Love you. Speaking Freedom presents Good Head Group, providing advanced spiritual studies and personal developmental insight. Brought to you by Love Gang and Speaking Freedom. We look forward to helping you grow in all the areas of your life. We hope that you find all the information needed for your growth. God bless. Please listen to all disclaimers provided. If you are currently under physician's care, please maintain that relationship. This is not intended to stop your current treatment plan. If you need physician care, please seek out medical attention. Please note, all results are based on the individual's ability to adapt and adjust to any given environment and situation. We are not responsible for your results at Speaking Freedom. The life enhancement coaches at Speaking Freedom provide information to help you grow. You are responsible for maintaining that growth, taking on and then applying the information to your individual life as you deem needed and necessary. This may contain and explain explicit content. Please use parental discretion. For best results, you will need an open mind, the ability to research, and a balanced lifestyle.
Please join us daily for your inspiration and motivation.
We have the entire world to offer you at your fingertips. Your life enhancement coaching specialist. Thank you for choosing us to assist you in accomplishing your personal and professional goals. And have a beautiful day. In love, we trust. This is brought to you by Good Head Group, Love Gang, and Speaking Freedom. We thank God for you, and we love you.